I never expected the call. It had been 3 long years since I last heard from my son Mark. After his father passed away, our relationship had slowly crumbled like dry leaves in autumn. He moved away, bought this fancy lake house with money I never quite understood where it came from, and kept his distance. Phone calls became shorter, visits non-existent. So when his text popped up on my phone that rainy Thursday afternoon, "Mom, come stay at the lake house this weekend. I miss you, bring your famous apple pie." My heart swelled with hope. The drive from the city to Willow Lake took 4 hours. Towering pine trees lined the winding road, and the air smelled fresh and earthy. As I pulled up the gravel driveway, the house came into view. A beautiful 2-story wooden cabin with large glass windows overlooking the sparkling lake. It looked like something from a magazine. Peaceful, luxurious, perfect. Mark had done well for himself, working as a consultant or whatever high-paying job he had now. I parked my old sedan next to a shiny black SUV. Before I could even grab my suitcase, an elderly man in gardening overalls appeared from behind a cluster of rose bushes. His face was weathered, hands calloused from years of work. He was trimming hedges, but he stopped abruptly when he saw me. "Mom," he said, voice low and urgent. He glanced nervously toward the house. "You must be Mark's mother. I'm Elias, the gardener. Please, listen to me." I smiled politely, thinking he was just being friendly. "Nice to meet you, Elias, it's lovely here." He stepped closer, faster than I expected for his age, and grabbed my arm. His grip was surprisingly strong. "Leave before he gets back," he whispered, his eyes darting around as if someone might be watching. "Your son, he's not safe, something's wrong in that house. Please, just go." My stomach twisted. What was this old man talking about? Mark was my son, my only child. I pulled my arm away gently. "I think there's been a misunderstanding," Mark invited me. Elias shook his head, fear etched deep into his wrinkles. "He'll be back tomorrow morning. You still have time, don't stay." Then he shuffled away quickly, disappearing behind the house before I could ask anything more. I stood there, heart racing, but shook it off. Gardeners could be eccentric, especially ones living out in the woods. Maybe he was lonely or had some old grudge. I grabbed my bags and headed inside, the heavy wooden door creaking open. The interior was stunning. High ceilings, a massive stone fireplace, and floor-to-ceiling windows framing the lake like a painting. Mark had left a note on the kitchen counter. "Mom, make yourself at home, I'll arrive early tomorrow. Love you." That night, as rain pattered against the windows, I unpacked and baked the apple pie. The house felt warm and inviting. I told myself Elias was mistaken. Families drift apart sometimes, but blood is blood. I was staying, word count so far, 580. The first night alone was peaceful at first. I wandered the spacious living room, admiring Mark's taste, modern furniture mixed with cozy touches. Family photos lined one shelf, me and his late father at the beach when Mark was 10, his high school graduation. He still cared, I thought. But as I settled into the guest bedroom upstairs, strange little things started nagging at me. The house was too quiet, no ticking clock, no hum of appliances beyond the fridge. Then I heard a faint scratching sound from behind the wall near the bed. Mice, probably. Lake houses always had critters. I tried to sleep, but around 2 a.m., the scratching grew louder, almost like nails on wood. I sat up, heart thumping. "Just the wind," I whispered to myself. To distract my mind, I went downstairs for warm milk. That's when I noticed the basement door in the hallway. It was slightly ajar, though I was sure it had been closed earlier. Curiosity got the better of me. I flipped on the light and descended the wooden stairs. The basement was finished. Clean, with storage shelves and a small workshop area. Tools hung neatly on the wall, but in the far corner, behind some boxes, I found a locked metal cabinet. Odd for a lake house. I didn't push further that night. Back in bed, the scratching stopped. I drifted off thinking about how proud I was of Mark for building this life. Tomorrow we'd reconnect over coffee and pie. Everything would be fine. Word count so far, 1 in 50. Mark arrived just after sunrise. I heard his SUV crunching on the gravel and rushed downstairs, pie warming in the oven. He looked different, taller somehow, more polished in his crisp shirt, but his smile was the same boyish one I remembered. "Mom." He hugged me tight, lifting me off the ground like when he was a teenager. "You made it. The place looks great with you in it." We spent the morning catching up on the deck overlooking the lake. He told me about work trips, new clients, how the house helped him relax after stressful deals. I shared stories about the neighborhood, my garden back home, how much I missed our Sunday brunches. But something felt off. His laugh didn't quite reach his eyes. When I mentioned Elias's strange warning, Mark's face hardened for a split second. Old Elias? He's harmless but a bit senile. Been here since I bought the place, probably just lonely. Ignore him. Mark changed the subject quickly, suggesting a boat ride on the lake. We spent the afternoon on the water. The sun sparkled, birds sang, and for a while it felt like old times. Mark even asked about Dad's old watch, which I'd brought as a gift. I want to keep his memory close, he said softly. My heart melted. Maybe this was the start of healing. That evening, as we grilled fish, Elias appeared at the edge of the property again. He stared at us from the tree line, shaking his head slowly. Mark noticed and waved him off dismissively. He's just weird, Mom, don't let it ruin our weekend. Word count so far, 1,750. After dinner, Mark excused himself to his office upstairs for a quick work call. I cleaned up, humming old lullabies I used to sing to him. The house felt alive again with 2 people in it. But around 9 p.m. I heard raised voices from upstairs. Mark was arguing with someone on the phone. I told you to stay away. No, she's here. This changes nothing. I froze in the kitchen. Who was he talking to? When he came down his face was flushed, but he smiled. Just a difficult client, sorry about that. We watched an old movie together, but I couldn't shake the unease. Later that night, the scratching returned, louder, from multiple walls now. I knocked on Mark's door to ask if he heard it, but he was already asleep, or pretending to be. His breathing sounded too steady. Unable to sleep, I explored more. In the guest bathroom cabinet, I found a small vial of pills with no label, strange, and in the living room bookshelf, behind some novels, a hidden compartment held old newspaper clippings about missing persons from nearby towns. Dated years ago, my hands trembled as I read them. Word count so far, 2,300. The next morning, I slipped outside early while Mark slept in. Elias was already working near the boathouse. I approached him cautiously. Please, tell me what's going on, I begged. Why did you warn me? Elias wiped sweat from his brow, looking terrified. Your son, he changed after he moved in. At first he was friendly. Then people started disappearing, hikers, locals. I saw things, blood on his clothes late at night. He has a room down there. He pointed toward the basement. Locked? Don't go, but if you stay you'll see. Leave tonight before the full moon. I wanted to dismiss him as crazy, but his fear was real. Mark's my son, I raised him, he wouldn't hurt anyone. Elias grabbed my arm again, gentler this time. Love blinds us, Mom, I lost my own daughter to secrets like this, please. He handed me a small flashlight for the dark corners. I returned to the house, mind spinning. Mark greeted me cheerfully with breakfast. Sleep well? His eyes searched mine. I nodded, forcing a smile. But inside doubt was growing like a weed. Word count so far, 2,050. That afternoon Mark suggested a hike. I agreed, hoping fresh air would clear my head. The woods around the lake were beautiful but dense, shadows long even in daylight. Mark led the way, pointing out birds and plants. But he kept checking his phone. Halfway through, he got another call and stepped away. I waited, then noticed a faint trail leading off the main path. Curiosity pulled me. It ended at an old shed hidden by vines, inside, ropes, duct tape, and a stained tarp. My stomach churned, rushing back, I pretended nothing happened. That evening, after Mark went for a swim, I used the flashlight Elias gave me and returned to the basement. The locked cabinet, I found a key hidden under a loose floorboard nearby. Heart hammering, I opened it. Photos. Dozens of them. Women, men, some I recognized from the newspaper clippings. Dates, notes in Mark's handwriting. Too close, handled, and worse, Polaroids of the lake at night, figures being dragged. I nearly vomited. This couldn't be my son. Word count so far, 3,450. I confronted him that night after dinner. Mark, what is all this? The basement, the people. Elias warned me, his face transformed. The loving son vanished. Cold, calculating eyes stared back. You should have left, Mom, like I told Elias to make you do. He admitted pieces. How the lake house wasn't just a home, it was a cover. A place where he dealt with problems for powerful clients. The scratching, not mice. Hidden compartments where he kept evidence. Or victims who didn't make it. Tears streamed down my face. I raised you better. Your father and I. Dad was weak, he snapped. I learned early that power means doing what others won't. I tried to run but he blocked the door. You're staying now. Family sticks together, right? His laugh was hollow, terrifying. Word count so far, 3,950. The full moon rose, bathing the lake in eerie silver light. Mark locked me in the guest room, but I'd hidden Elias's flashlight and a kitchen knife. The scratching intensified. Now I realized it was coming from inside the walls. Hidden passages? I pried at a loose panel behind the dresser. It opened into a narrow crawl space. Crawling through dust and cobwebs, I emerged in another hidden room in the basement. Chains on the wall, old blood stains, photos of me, surveillance shots from years back. He'd been watching me. Panic surged. I found a burner phone and dialed emergency services, but signal was jammed. Footsteps approached. Mark was coming. Word count so far, 400. I hid in the shadows as Mark entered the hidden room. Mom, come out. We can fix this. I never wanted you to see, but his voice dripped with menace. He confessed more. The consulting was cleanup for crimes. The lake hid bodies. He'd started young, after a fight with his father that went too far. Something I never knew. My world shattered. The boy I carried, taught to ride a bike, comforted through nightmares, was a monster. Rage and grief fueled me. When he lunged, I fought back with the knife, slashing his arm. He roared in pain. We struggled. I broke free and ran upstairs, barricading the door. Elias appeared outside the window. He'd been watching. The police are coming, I called from the road. But Mark smashed through. You stayed, now you'll join them. Word count so far, 5,100. Sirens wailed in the distance. In the chaos, I managed to push Mark down the stairs. He hit his head hard but survived. Police swarmed the lake house, uncovering horrors I wish I could forget. Elias stayed by my side as statements were taken. You were brave, he said. Most mothers would have run. Mark was arrested. The trial revealed years of darkness. I sold the lake house, donated the money to victims' families. Therapy helped, but the scars remain. I visit Dad's grave often now, whispering apologies for not seeing sooner. The house is gone, but the warning echoes. Sometimes love makes us stay when we should run. Yet in facing the truth, I found a new strength. My son was lost, but I survived, and in surviving, I honor the mother I tried to be. If you're listening to this and something feels wrong in your family, trust your gut. Leave before it's too late. But if you stay, be ready to fight for the light. The end.